Hello, Dolphin fans. Welcome to 2021. So we got some interesting news to start the year. Probably one of the most interesting news I've got about the Dolphins since I've been a fan, really. And we'll see if this even happens. But apparently the quarterback for the Houston Texans, Deshaun Watson, despite that big contract extension he signed at the beginning of the year, actually wants to do everything he can to get out of Houston and come to Miami. That's his ideal spot right now. I mean, at worst, Deshaun Watson is a top 5 quarterback. At worst. He is a really talented player. And what's really ironic is before all this happened, I always told myself that if there was one guy in the NFL I was rooting for that wasn't on the Dolphins, it was Deshaun Watson. Because I felt like he was drafted the same year as Patrick Mahomes, but because he's out there winning Super Bowls and MVPs, no one's truly looking at how great Deshaun Watson is. I feel like he's a really good, humble athlete. He's very smart. He seems very passionate. He wants to be great. And then in general, he's a hell of a football player. So how ironic would it be that after all of what I said before, he comes to our team? I would love that. But there are a few things that both teams have to think about, because another thing that is in the Dolphins situation here, they drafted Tua Tagovailoa at quarterback at pick number 5 last year to be their franchise quarterback. So, I mean, do you just give up on a guy like right after you draft him? Well, I mean, it happened with Josh Rosen, who we also happen to have on our team at one point. And there's a lot of things I want to say to Dolphin fans right now. First of all, I'm sure you guys probably remember that pretty infamous video I made back in December 2019 about why the Dolphins won't draft a quarterback in 2020. And yeah, that's a bad take, because in hindsight, it was especially really unrealistic to think they were not seriously going to draft a quarterback. It was so obvious they were going to draft a quarterback, and especially draft Tua in specific. Yeah, that was a bad take. I deserve to be ripped for that. But you guys are pretty quiet on my actual stance I had on Tua before he was drafted. First of all, I made that video. I also made another video about why the Dolphins shouldn't trade up to pick number 3 to get Tua, like everyone was saying. I was early on that whole did they make a mistake on drafting Justin Herbert before Tua thing. And then in my actual live reaction that I posted, I clearly wasn't even the most excited once they drafted Tua, even though I had a feeling they were probably going to once the draft was coming up. So in case it wasn't clear enough, I was honestly just not that high on Tua before he was drafted. Now, I tried to buy into it because I didn't want to just never ever give this guy a chance, and I really did. I still believe that Tua can be a good player because, listen, if I did not think Tua had the potential to be anything good, then this video probably shouldn't even exist, because why in the world would the Texans trade a potential elite quarterback, if he's not already elite, for some guy that's just not that good? Like, that just doesn't make sense. Now, I'm not here to give myself a victory lap, because I don't even want to say I'm right on Tua. I mean, it's way too early to say that I'm right on Tua. And I also don't even want to be right on Tua, because if this whole Deshaun Watson thing ends up being for nothing, then who cares? We're just sitting here trying to talk about what Tua can do to be better and how we can help Tua. But if this Deshaun Watson thing is for real, I think the Dolphins absolutely need to do this. And the other thing I need the Dolphin fans to think about here is, you can't yes, he's a rookie, but rookies nowadays, I feel like you need less time to actually evaluate them. Because here's another thing I'm honestly a little upset about with the whole Josh Rosen situation. Everyone was really quick to throw him under the bus. As soon as he makes one mistake on a team that's worse than the one Tua was on, they are all like, nope, he sucks. He's terrible. Let's go and get Tua. Because Fitzpatrick came in after he was benched, and yeah, that's why Rosen sucks. He's got to go. So why is it different with Tua? Why is it different? Tua had better moments than Josh Rosen, and he also was on a better team, to be fair. But that also works in his disadvantage, I guess, because he got benched. And Fitzpatrick also played better. So where are all the Tua sucks people? Why are all the people that say, oh, we need to get, I don't know, Justin Fields or something? Like, where are all those people? Like, is it just you don't want to admit you were wrong about Tua? I feel like that's the case with some fans. And for real, guys, I'm not giving up on Tua because he had some flashes and he is a rookie and there are some things I think he will improve upon in the future. But all I'm saying is you need to be fair. It's not fair to throw Josh Rosen under the bus when the exact same thing happens. And then all of a sudden when it happens to Tua, you're just like, well, give him another chance. Like, no, that's not fair. Like, Tua deserves some criticism. I'm tired of Dolphins and all their fans babying Tua. If he needs criticism, he needs criticism. He's a good guy. We're all rooting for him. He seems like a good guy with a lot of passion, but unfortunately, you never hire someone for being a good guy. If I'm trying to go into like an animation studio, Pixar's not going to hire me because I'm a good guy. I got to be good at my job. I don't care how good of a guy you are. You got to be good at your job. And honestly, I'm just not sure if I see that much potential in Tua. I'm not saying I don't see any. I just don't see that much. I think Tua can be a good quarterback, but unfortunately for Dolphin fans, I don't know if he's ever going to be an elite quarterback. I don't know if he's ever really even going to be like a great quarterback. So I know when I say all this, it's kind of like, well, what are you going to do to get the Texans to actually realistically trade with you? Because they have a quarterback that if he's not already elite, he has the potential to be an elite quarterback. And they also just signed him to a big contract. Well, this is still Deshaun Watson's job. If he doesn't like it there, he can technically leave. I know it's a lot more complicated than just he can leave. Like he's got to really, hardball his way out of here, but he can. He's not necessarily entitled to stay in Houston. So if he doesn't like what they're doing here, then he can leave. Now, here's why I think for both Deshaun and Tua, it might be best to just switch teams here. Because for Deshaun Watson, he's not very happy with the whole social injustice thing that the Texans are doing. Basically, he just doesn't feel like they're being very racially fair. I don't want to get too far into that, but it's just, you guys know what I'm talking about. He doesn't like how the Texans are handling this. He's just not happy with what they're doing in Houston in general. Now, as for Tua, it's not very political, but a lot of Dolphin players have actually reportedly come out and said even they're not so confident that Tua's the guy. And I'm not sure if this is true or not, but I've even heard there's a rumor that Brian Flores isn't even so confident. Now, don't hold me accountable for that one. I don't actually know if that's true. I'm just saying I maybe saw that somewhere. So sometimes it's best for these guys to just get a new head start, like just swap places. Tua doesn't have to worry about his teammates trying to rip on him anymore. He's got a completely new fan base to root for him. He's got a new set of teammates, and Texans actually seem like they have really good teammates, or maybe I'm just thinking of JJ Watt, but yeah, they seem like they actually have really good teammates that can be there to uplift Tua. And as for Watson, he's going to Miami, so maybe whatever he thinks there will generally agree with him more. I really try not to go political here. It's what it seems like is going on. And I think all the players maybe are actually secretly hoping for this to happen. Maybe that's why they're even saying this stuff about Tua, so they can, find a way to low-key convince Chris Greer and Stephen Ross, like, hey, I'm hearing Deshaun wants to come, so I don't really like Tua that much. You should do something. Like, it just can happen. Basically, what I'm trying to say here is a culture change could be best for both people here. So how can this benefit the Dolphins? Well, you're getting a top 5 quarterback. I don't see how it couldn't. Deshaun Watson actually had a career best year in 2020, despite being on his worst team by far. And I'm not going to count 2017. He was injured that year. So he actually had a really good year, which shows he can thrive even with a bad team. Well, Dolphins went 10-6. So this is a better team than the Texans. And the Dolphins' biggest strength is on the defense. We've always been saying that this offense is just not good. So if we can just get that guy that we know can be good, can elevate this team no matter who is playing, we can have a really consistently good offense and that same defense we had last year. Guys, do you not see why we absolutely need to do that? Yes, you need to give up a lot, including one of those things might actually have to be Xavier Howard, which sucks. Xavier Howard is a game-changing player. Now, there's other ways they can find a way around here. We definitely have to give up more than just Tua, because Texans aren't that dumb. Like, they signed this guy to 5 years and whatever how much money it was. They're like, even if we trade you, we still got to pay for him for like 4 more years with you guys. Like, come on, we got to get something out of this than just Tua. Like, you got to give us some first rounders, like one of your star players. We got to get something if we're seriously going to trade Deshaun Watson. And that's fair. So, yeah, we might have to trade Xavier Howard. But first of all, this team just seemingly always drafts corners anyway, so they might actually find a really good corner. But I really don't think corner's like a super heavy weakness. Will the defense be worse with Xavier Howard? Yes, but I don't think you understand how much of an upgrade the team will be in general if they have an elite quarterback. Some people just don't understand the significance of quarterback. If you can get an elite top 5 quarterback, your team is like a Super Bowl contender every single year. A corner can only do so much. Even if we lose Xavier Howard, I think anyone would agree that they'd rather have Deshaun Watson than Xavier Howard, as much as we all love Howard and as great as he is. If we aren't going to trade Howard, then we probably have to give the Texans Tua, both of our first-round picks this year, and then maybe like another first-round pick next year. That would be like our most realistic way of getting Watson. Is that giving up a lot? Yes. Is our team actually ready to compete just because we have Watson? No. We still got to get some O-line and we still got to get some receivers. But I think there's depth in the draft and O-line. I don't think you necessarily have to get a first-round pick on that. I think you can get that later. And as for receivers, honestly, first of all, if Parker and Williams can stay healthy, that'll be good enough. But that's a big if. But I do think I'm feeling confident Parker can play for at least most of the season next year. We'll see about Williams. Maybe they trade him and get something. I'm hearing they're maybe looking at Marvin Jones. You probably would just have to address that in the offseason. But basically what I'm saying is, yes, if you have Deshaun freaking Watson wanting to come to Miami, Duh, you do that. Do you want to sit here and just wait for Tua to like maybe develop? Or do you want to get a quarterback that you know is good and become like a Super Bowl contender like at least in a couple years? Maybe even next year. I mean, Dolphins overachieved last year. I think you absolutely need to do it. We're already good on defense. We do need to keep Howard. We need to find, if we're going to trade for Watson, we need to find a way to keep Howard. But I think anyone can agree they'd probably rather have a star quarterback than a star cornerback. So we'll see if this whole Deshaun Watson thing ends up happening, but I think they absolutely need to do it. But anyway, hopefully that was a good video for some mature topics. I hope I didn't offend anyone on certain things. I'm not trying to, I won't get political. I'm not on any side. I'm really not. I'm just saying generally this is what happens in those situations. But anyway, that's my stance on that. Let me know what you guys think. There's some people that disagree, but some people that agree. That's just what I think. But yeah, comment below what you think about this, and I'll catch you for the next video.